right. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tea Time with Titan. I'm Titan. This is Cassy.
Hello.
Yep. And this is episode 6. And today we're going to talk in English. So, Cassie's an old friend of mine. She is from South Africa. That's right.
That's correct.
Awesome. So, how many people do you know from South Africa?
Right.
Me, just Cassy.
There's not many of us around, to be very honest.
And probably even less in Chile, right?
Actually, we have a little community here in Chile.
No way.
Yeah. And I've got some of my best friends that are South African, but most of them are living in Santiago, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, but we've got a little community.
Yeah. So right now we're in the 5th region. We are in Concon at the moment.
Right.
And Cassie, you live, where do you live right now?
At the moment, I'm living on the beach in Reñaca,
Right
Sector 5,
There
with
you
all
go.
the sunsets. But it's very cold right now.
Yeah. We're in fall right now, so winter is coming for all you Game of Thrones watchers. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Really?
I know. I'm way behind.
No, it's awesome. You have to
Is
watch it? Really. I was also like, oh, what's everybody going on about? And then
Yeah.
eventually I sat down and started watching it. And it was awesome. It's
Yeah.
really, really cool.
I actually want to see it. I really do. And I saw the pilot. I saw the first episode.
Right.
And it was great. The violence, drama, action, incest. There was a little bit of everything.
It is a little bit crazy though. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And it was also the lack of HBO. I didn't have access to HBO or Stars, or I don't know which platform it streamed.
HBO, yeah.
HBO.
Correct.
Yeah. So, but my sister got it. She somehow got it on some sort of DVD or something,
Nice.
you know, through these less obvious channels.
Right.
Yeah.
With the unnamed. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I know you were just asking me about one of the programs I have here, and I have to admit, you know, I bought a lot of the programs I have, but some of them were gifted to me, so I will accept a good gift as well. You know, you have to learn to receive.
Of course. Good. And now you're giving back
Yes.
to the public. So
Yes.
it all works out.
Yeah, and you too, because I think the personal stories that humans have, the art of storytelling. Well, Cassie and I both are teachers. We're both English teachers.
That's correct.
So we've gone through that section of storytelling, whether it be through the professional area or the personal area. And something really magical and powerful about storytelling, that it kind of unites everyone together.
It
know,
is. It is.
right?
Everybody has like a history, and then it's like a puzzle. It all
Yes.
fits together. Exactly. I completely agree with that.
There's something very primal about that, sitting around the fireplace and everyone just sharing personal stories.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah,
It's the best with a good glass of wine.
right on. Yeah. I
Definitely.
do have wine. I have a bunch of bottles of wine.
I
here.
already checked that out.
Right on. So if you get thirsty at some point in the podcast, we can definitely have a glass.
It's a
of
little
wine.
bit early.
Yeah.
Although in South Africa we would drink like we wake up with a beer, you know?
Really.
Yeah.
So what is South Africa like? Because I know you guys are really down south, but Africa, for some reason, just through movies and stuff, we think it's really hot. Is South Africa really hot, or is it actually really cold because you're closer to the South
we've
Pole?
we've got the same kind of weather as here almost. Like
Okay.
we've got the summer and then we've got the winter, and winter is freezing. And then summer's very tropical and there's a lot of storms, and
Yeah.
and it gets so hot in some regions that you actually can cook an egg on the road, the
Oh my
street.
goodness.
Yeah.
So you have the extremes, from extreme heat all the way to frigid.
Freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely. But I love it. It's awesome.
And what is the geography like there? Is it flat? Is it mountainous? Are there plains? Is it a mix of different things?
It's a mix of different things. I mean, you've got the bush. I don't know if you know the safari.
Okay.
If that's what you would call it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've also got like Cape Town and a lot of beaches where you've got the Rocky Mountains, and then you've got Durban and you've got the Drakensberg. Drakensberg is like a range of mountains like the Andes, almost like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is culture like over there? Is it a big melting pot?
It's completely different to anywhere else in the world, that I can definitely tell you, because I mean there are so many different tribes, if I can put it that way.
Okay.
So we're the only country in the world that has 11 official languages.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Official.
Yeah, official. I speak 2 of them, but I
Okay.
mean it's really, really, it's so multicultural. Like everything, even the food. You got different types of food from the different tribes, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's incredible, and people are so down to earth, lovable. You know, it's
Right on.
awesome, awesome, and all different colors, races mix.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what languages do you speak? You said you speak two
Yeah, I
of these
speak
tribal
English and Afrikaans.
Afrikaans.
Yeah,
Okay.
you want to hear a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like I would say, "How are you?" So
Uh-huh.
it'll be like, "Hoe gaan dit met jou?" It's almost like a German kind of Dutch mix. I understand people from Holland, you know.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say that one more time?
Hoe gaan dit met jou? Can you repeat it?
Hoe gaan dit met jou?
Yeah, you need the more.
Das ist sehr gut. I know like a little bit of German, but it doesn't sound like German to me. But like the Spaniard, French, Dutch kind of
Yeah.
throaty vibration, it does seem similar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a very strong language, though. It's very strong.
Yeah.
And the Afrikaans people are very big. Like mountains, like the men are giants, you know.
Oh my goodness. And what is the cross pollination between them? Like what is the who are the Afrikaans people?
They're from the Dutch, the
Dutch.
Dutch colonies that came to South Africa.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you're actually tell me a little bit about your parents, where your parents are from.
Okay, my mother's from Germany,
Yeah.
father's from Chile,
Yeah.
and they met in South Africa because my dad was in South Africa for 30 years,
Yeah.
and then he came back to Chile. And my mother's still in South Africa. So, and they're both free and wild spirits. So I
Yeah.
followed my dad, you know?
Okay. So does your mom speak German?
Yes, she does, but she's lost a lot of it,
Yeah.
honestly. But my gran was a woman that was like, I don't know, 9 feet tall.
Really?
With the longest legs. And
Your grandma.
really, yeah, she was a very strict German, but
Mm.
lovable. She was amazing.
And did you meet her? Did you get a chance to meet her?
Yes, I lived with her until like 19 years old.
Oh wow.
Well, she lived with us. Like she had a little house on our house.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And where in South Africa are you from?
I'm from Pretoria, the capital.
Pretoria.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like a big city, but at the same time it has a lot of reserves. Like literally a block from my house, there's a reserve with zebras and
Oh wow.
buffaloes and everything. So it's awesome. It's like really Africa, but like I would even say we're more modernized than here,
Yeah.
than Chile. And it's not to offend anybody, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry,
So-
Chile.
So yeah, no, it's lovable. It's amazing.
Right on. And so how long did you live in South Africa?
All my life, really.
life.
Yeah, all my life. It's been like the last, I would say, 8 years have been there, Chile, there, Chile. So, you know,
Yeah.
unfortunately, due to the pandemic, I haven't been able to go home for 3 years.
Same.
It
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, for me it's been about 2 years, something like that.
It's horrible. And the tickets are so expensive now.
Yeah, the tickets are expensive. I just don't like the hassle of people telling you to put on a mask and people to tell you to put how many vaccines you need in your body and you need to get this paperwork and that paperwork. And it doesn't exist in any other country, the pase de movilidad. It doesn't exist. It's just a Chilean protocol.
Although when I went to Europe last year, you have to have the Paso de Movilidad green card, as they would call it,
Yeah,
in the restaurants.
got it.
But like the closed restaurants, if I could put it that way.
Yeah,
But other places, no, and people don't even walk with masks there, you know?
yeah. I feel that Chile's been a bit behind with adopting the COVID and getting rid of COVID, kind of letting it go.
But we're one of the safest in the world now,
Yeah,
which is great.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we can take off our masks from the 14th of April.
That's right. Starting April 14th, the dictatorship will start to wane and we can take off our masks.
Exactly, exactly. So I'm looking forward to that, but it's going to feel weird.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're going to see everyone's ugly mouth. No.
Exactly. That's the problem. Like before, you used to see this chick or this guy, and they're like so hot, and
Yeah.
so good looking,
Exactly.
and then they take off their mask, and you're like,
You're like, oh no. Yeah. Some people have these really captivating eyes, beautiful eyebrows, and they just give you that kind of mysterious look.
exactly.
And you're like, wow, you're a very provocative kind of human being. Yeah,
Exactly.
I think the mask has helped in that sense for some people.
Exactly. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm excited though. I think it's time for a change, but at the same time, I do think the world needed it. I think the world did need some sort of shakeup. As weird as that sounds, I'm not trying to be draconian or anything like that.
No, no, no. It's like Earth was trying to like
Yeah,
it's trying to revive itself, because we're destroying it.
yeah, that too. The benefits that we saw in nature were also pretty obvious.
It
When
was beautiful, like you would see animals coming out again,
hmm
all that kind of thing. Yeah,
yeah,
agreed.
it does give hope to the state that the world and the human being is in right now, because I don't think we're separate from the earth.
Mm-mm. No, not at all. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I think there's hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just hope the things in Europe start getting better as well with the war and everything. We're
Mm.
going too serious right now, you know that?
So where? Oh,
We're going too serious. We need to make this more light.
it's okay. We can go in any direction we want to.
Oh, that's right. You can be open.
Yeah, yeah. We can do anything we want. We can go serious. We can go humorous. We can keep it light.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's do that. I want your cat to come sit by me again.
I know. He's very cute and he makes some beautiful sounds and he's super soft. But he's a free spirit. So as you can see, there's an open door policy with him. Yeah.
Ah.
So he's a street cat or a condominium cat that's
Right.
now become my cat.
Ah, that's so cute. My dog as well.
Really?
I adopted a dog off the streets here as well.
That's
She's
awesome.
been with me for 6 years. She's so cute. She's like a human though. She's got like a human personality.
Wait, how long have you guys been together?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I met your dog.
Yeah, I know. She's cute.
Yeah,
no?
she's awesome.
Yeah, Moo.
She's
very
super
cute.
friendly.
She is. And she's loving the beach now. She goes crazy.
I imagine. Because you were in Valpo before, right? Valparaíso.
Mm-hmm. I was
Yeah.
living in Valparaiso before, and now she's got like the beach, and
Yeah.
now she's loving it.
Because even though the water is close, there's not many beaches in Valpo, right?
Yeah, no, there isn't.
Yeah, it's all just like Portland, everything. Oh, Portland. No, yeah,
Ports.
yeah, a land of ports.
Portlands.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure that's where that name came from. Forgive my ignorance, guys. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, have you ever been to USA?
No, I haven't. But like my best friend that I'm staying with at the moment,
Yeah.
she, her brother's living in California.
Yeah.
So she goes there quite often. So
Yeah.
they've invited me, obviously. So I would like to go, definitely.
Awesome.
I've had good stories about there, you know.
Yeah. And
Can you tell me about where you from?
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm from Miami, Florida, 305. I'm from Miami. That's our area code. So I'm from USA, Miami, and I love Miami. I think it's a great place. There's this joke that someone would say that, you know what I love so much about Miami?
Yeah.
That it's so close to the United States.
Ah, okay.
It's like Latin America.
Yeah, do you have a lot of, they say there's a lot of Mexican and Latinos there.
There's a lot of Latinos, but in the United States, there's kind of like this tri channel of Latin people.
Yeah.
So one channel goes to the west,
Right.
one channel goes up north, and the other channel kind of stays down south. So
Okay.
so if you go up north to like New England, New York, Boston, that kind of area, especially New York, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans. So shout out to the Puerto Ricans, Boricuas. Yeah, and if you go to the west, California, you obviously have the Mexican influence. So Mexican, California used to be Mexican, Texas as well.
Right.
So there's some polemic with that, obviously, with the Alamo and all that stuff.
Okay, but your parents, are they, I know your father's Chilean as well, right?
Yeah,
We got a
yeah.
similar story.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And your mom?
My mom she's from Venezuela, but her dad is from Barcelona. So
Wow, what a mix.
so she's half Catalana, half Venezuelan, and my dad is Chilean.
How did they meet in Miami? It's the same thing,
Yeah, it's similar. They were 18 and they met up to go to secondary school, university.
Right.
So they met up at the University of Miami down there, and they liked each other, and then we came about. So.
Ah, nice. And you got brothers and sisters too?
Yeah, I have two sisters, an older sister and a younger sister, and I'm the middle child.
Ah, how's it to be with two sisters? Did they bully you?
My older sister, I love you, Karina, but she was just, girls grow up faster. Girls develop physically faster than
Yeah.
than guys do.
Of
than,
course.
than male boys do. So she's like around 18 months older than me, maybe. Yeah, she's exactly 18 months older than me and one day. 18 months. So she's a year and a half older than me, and she was very extroverted, very like very street smart, and she would speak really well. And I was kind of more like timid. I had glasses. I had like a mushroom, like long hair,
Yeah.
and I was just like kind of like sensitive, kind of intellectual or something like that as a kid. Very shy, very introverted.
You would
So
never say that. Like
right,
now? Right.
yeah,
You came out of your shell.
I did. I did. You know, thank God I did. And so I'm a learned extrovert, but you know, I think my essence is more introverted. I'm kind of like a switch, kind of like a interruptor. I'm kind of on or off. So, but I love attention. I love the attention. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So when someone says go, I'm on. I'm on for real, like 100%. I can go from 0 to 100. You know,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Okay. I
But
think
but usually I'm like very chill.
very good. No, I've seen that. I've seen that.
Right on.
Right.
And what about you? What's your sibling story like?
Well, my older brother, he's more the timid one as
Hmm.
well. He was more the quiet one and everything. And I was like the wild child.
How many are you?
Well, I've got an older brother from my mom's side and a
Hmm.
younger brother from my dad's side.
Yeah.
But I lived with my older brother. We lived with my mom.
Yeah.
So my older brother was like always my inspiration and fitness and everything like that.
Hmm.
And very relaxed, chilled guy. And I was like the crazy one, like really the black sheep,
Yeah.
like the rebel, doing things that my mother told me not to do. And then like
Hmm.
I did it even more. And then my younger brother, we only got to know each other when I was about 19 years old. He's also a much more free spirit, but a little bit of a tough guy. So we don't have so much communication at the moment.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you grew up as the youngest.
Basically, in my house, yes. Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I ask some of my friends this. What are the benefits of being the younger child?
Well, also because I was a girl, I
Yeah.
was a daddy's girl, and
Okay.
like my mom was always like my baby girl, kind of
Hmm.
thing. So I would like, I think I got a little bit more spoiled
Yeah.
in the sense of like toys and things like that when I was
Okay.
like a kid.
Yeah.
And that's why my brother is more how what would it be? Sensible. No, not sensible. I can't remember the word.
Sensitive.
Not sensitive, like sincere. Yeah, like
Oh, simple.
simple. I
You know,
think it
this
is.
this this happens all the time.
Sometimes I forget words in English.
This
It's
happens.
terrible.
Even though we come from an English speaking place,
Exactly
when you
that.
spend a long enough time in Latin America, you start to forget the simple things, especially the word simple.
Exactly. So yeah, no, it was a good life, and
Yeah,
I had a fun childhood.
right on.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think are the disadvantages of being the younger child?
That's well, I don't actually see any disadvantages.
It's just
at the
all
moment.
advantages, right?
Yeah,
It's just
right.
all pluses.
What about you? Being the middle child.
Good question. I think more than being the middle child, it was more about being the only boy. I think
Mm,
being the only boy, so probably talking about the pros, I think I got a little bit more attention. I think I got a little more attention from my mom.
okay.
I think my mom realized that I needed it, that I needed a bit more attention, that my sisters were a bit quicker. They were a bit just like it's hard to put this on a scale, but you know, when they did the IQ test on all of us, I got the highest score. But
Wow.
I still feel that they're like smarter than me in a lot of things. You
Mm.
know, that they could deal with the material world a lot easier than I probably could.
Streetwise.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I was probably more in books and in, you know, just other pursuits, and they just had it kind of figured out, I feel. And being a boy, it was harder for me to follow directions.
Yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can definitely understand that. Now tell me, I remember you've always given me good recommendations about books.
Yeah.
What is an excellent book that you've been reading lately?
Good question. So I actually have some books that I'm giving away. So I put a little pile there for you. So after we finish,
Woohoo!
you can,
Score!
yeah. If there's is anything you like, just go for it. You can take them all.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
like a dream come true Friday.
right on. So good question. You know, I've read a lot of books. I love to read, and I feel it's one of the things that kind of keeps me going. Because sometimes I feel the worst thing that could happen is to stay stagnant.
Mm, mm.
You know, whether it be physically or mentally or emotionally or spiritually or any facet of your life, when you're static, I feel that just entropy happens, that you start to like, it's like erosion. You know what I mean? It's like the wind just starts to just eat you up.
Right.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah, so metaphorically, that's kind of the remedy that I get from reading books, that
Mm.
I could just expand a little bit of borders, expand perception, and it just makes me feel a little bit more prepared for the material world. You know,
And you can also escape with it, like
yes,
completely.
yes, there's this goes back to the magic of storytelling.
There we go again.
Yeah. Stories are everything, especially if you're into marketing. Storytelling is what gets somebody to actually buy a product or to buy your service or become part of your subscription or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to connect with people on an emotional level, they say. you know
Exactly.
I'm still learning about marketing. It is tricky, but
It is. I like me myself. I make jewelry, as you know,
yes, that's right.
and I'm starting my workshop
Hmm.
again finally. But I don't know how to do marketing at all.
Yet.
Yes, but it's a learning progress.
Yes. So tell me a little bit about the jewelry making process, and when did the jewelry come into your life?
Well, when I was in South Africa, I had to decide what I wanted to study. So I wanted to first study like aircraft law,
Okay.
and then I wanted to study insects. But like I
Okay.
also thought, how am I going to make money and enjoy what I do at the same time, and probably stay at home if I have children one day?
Hmm.
So one of my friend's mothers was a goldsmith, a professional goldsmith, and I went to go check out what she was doing, and I like fell in love with it. And I'm very creative. I love drawing. I love painting and things like that. I've always been.
So you have a visual talent.
Yes.
You're a visual artist.
Yes.
And what is a goldsmith? What does a goldsmith do?
A goldsmith is a person, a manufacturer of jewelry with precious metals and precious stones. They
Mm.
work with all kinds of. It's not like a silversmith. I work with platinum, gold, silver. I work with all the different stones as well. So I
And what's the
started
difference between a silver and a goldsmith?
because a silversmith only works with silver.
Only silver.
Mm-hmm.
But as a goldsmith, you can work with a lot,
Everything.
everything.
Yeah, everything that's precious metals, precious
Mm.
stones. So so I got into that, and it was an amazing experience. I studied that in South Africa. It's even more expensive to study that career than a doctor.
Really?
Yeah, it's an expensive career, but my parents really helped me out there and everything. And I always worked from a young age, so paying my own stuff as well.
Yeah.
So no, it's a very, very awesome, difficult. It's very difficult as well because you have to think mathematically how to put things, and kinetically as well. Sometimes you have movements in the jewelry and things like that, but it's incredible. You just let your mind blow.
Awesome.
Mm.
So more than a trade, this is a university career to learn how to do this.
Hmm. In
Yeah.
South Africa, it is. Here, it's still advancing slowly but surely.
Yeah, well, Chile is kind of limited with their academic careers. It almost feels that everyone here is either a
An
lawyer,
engineer.
an engineer, a doctor, and I don't know what else. Everyone's an engineer. Like either they work at the mines as an engineer. Here, Chile's
Exactly.
got a really big mining industry. They have a lot of copper. I know the Chinese are buying most of the copper, but
Hmm.
yeah, that's probably a little bit too serious of a topic. But
Hmm.
China's
think
always
so.
on my mind. But at the same time, I use TikTok, so shout out to TikTok. I know TikTok is Chinese. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, can you make rings? Can you make
I've made all
pendants
different
and
things. Yeah, I've made even like vampire teeth out of gold.
really?
Yeah.
So, grills.
Yeah, I've done that. I've made hair extensions. I've made chainmail dresses.
Chainmail is awesome.
So I've like really, yeah, and then obviously the normal things: bracelets,
Hmm.
rings, earrings, necklaces, pendants.
Yeah.
So wherever your mind can take you, I've made it.
And can you do it from just acquiring like a chunk of gold? Like do you melt down the gold? Do you manipulate it? Do you
Yes, I completely manipulate the metal completely.
yeah.
Obviously, you melt it down into its like rawest form. Then
Mhm.
you would have to roll it out and start getting your form from that. It's a long process, but it can be very frustrating. And I almost don't have fingerprints, sorry, because of it, because I've burnt myself so
Really?
much. Because you act like, I'm an idiot sometimes. I like warm up the metal and then I touch it with my hand. You're not supposed to touch with your hand, you without thinking, So, yeah,
But this is like I think the most human thing, getting burnt by fire, even metaphorically.
exactly.
Yeah.
I do agree.
So you're kind of like Jason Bourne. You're like a South African spy. You don't have fingertips right now.
No, they're slowly but surely coming back
Okay.
somehow.
Just like the Earth, it's coming back.
Exactly, exactly.
So is there hope for us? Is there hope for the planet?
Of course. I don't know, but if us humans don't change, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We should be getting wake up calls with what's everything that's happened.
Yeah. What do you think is probably the greatest issue that we deal with in saving the planet?
Selfishness, I think. Most of us are selfish, I would say.
Mm.
What
are
do
some?
you say?
I don't know what the emotion is, but I know I always put it down to I think somebody just wants to make one more dollar. They want to make one more dollar.
Greediness.
Maybe I don't know what if it lands within the seven deadly sins or 10 deadly sins. Is it 7 or 10? I'm not really
7.
up to date with the Christian mythology.
7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the emotion is. I don't know what the sin is, but I think it's just there's this guy named Sadhguru. Have you heard of him?
No, tell me.
He's this Indian mystic who's really famous on social media.
Okay.
Yeah, he's really famous, and he says that it's all pleasure. You know what I mean? He says that like what I call is like somebody wants to make one more dollar. They want to cut down one more tree just to maximize a little bit more profit.
That's
Just to
true.
pollute a little bit more to make a little more money. He says that it's just pleasure because he says like those things make that person happy. Making that one more dollar makes that person happy.
Right.
So I think it is selfishness because he's selfishly pleasing his self and like himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's feeding his own pleasure at the expense of natural life on this planet.
That's very true. And you see it every day with construction, like they destroying nature.
Yeah, you
No.
definitely see that here. Concon is known for dunes. It used to be a big collection of dunes all across Concon, and now there's only one little protected area of dunes, and it's the last one.
Mm.
And I know all these developers are eyeing it like vampires. You
That's
know,
sad. It's
yeah,
really sad. Like
yeah.
also, I don't know if you know Kuralma.
No, like I know it by name, but like, to be honest, the geography is still really new to me here in Chile.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's like half an hour away from here,
Yeah,
and it's got an amazing lagoon and everything. And they've started like a forest, a beautiful forest, and they've
yeah,
started constructing all around there, and they're taking down more and more every day.
it's crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, I've been really sympathetic, and it kind of hurts me to see the damage that they're doing to the ocean right now.
Mm.
And so that's kind of where my focus is at, even though sometimes it feels I don't know what I can do to help the ocean.
I don't know either. It's like one person, how
Yeah,
what do you do to make a difference? But I
yeah,
suppose all tiny little efforts add up to a big one.
yeah,
It's like a avalanche,
yeah.
a
That's right.
snowball.
That's right. And everything starts with some awareness, right? Because some people don't even know what's going on.
Exactly, exactly. Very naive to what's happening in the world.
Yeah, that's kind of the that anecdote of Jesus. I don't know if Jesus existed or not, but I do like the magical book of the Bible. I think it has a lot of cool allegories and similes and a lot of great stories and lessons for us to learn from. And he says that I think that the Bible's really symbolic and very metaphorical. Like things aren't as literal
Mm.
as some people like to take them. I think that interpreting it very literally is probably the first step of like questioning, oh, how did this happen? How did that happen? But I think there's another step that you can kind of see it more as like symbolic. So when Jesus made a blind man see, I don't think that he actually cured his physical eyeballs. I don't think he like restored the optic nerve or
Mm-hmm.
brought back like his retina from his glaucoma or something.
Yeah. Okay. This is going in deep. Yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
sorry guys. But just I think awareness, like changing someone's perspective is making a blind man see.
Exactly. That that makes a lot of sense. Actually, that was deep.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I like to. I like all these stories. You know, like you said, Cassie. I'm always reading. I think it's super fun for me.
But you still haven't told me what's your last book you read.
Good question. Good question. Sorry, guys, because I kind of get stuck in the weeds, but I always try to pull something of value out of there.
Right.
So the last book I read, I just finished it yesterday, is called The Music of Pythagoras. The Music of Pythagoras.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And
So
even that title just like fascinates me. Right.
yeah.
So what is it about?
So it's this great author. Her name is Kitty Ferguson.
Okay.
And this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but I feel that this is a vulnerable enough place and this is free speech. So I will admit this here. I had read one of Kitty Ferguson's books when I was, I think, 18 or something.
Right.
And it was all a book about science. It was called Measuring the Universe. And it talked about Galileo and Kepler and Tycho and all these, and Aristotle and Plato and all these people from way back to now, and how they measured the universe from then to now. It was like a brief history for like the layman, how to
Okay.
understand
Yeah.
astronomy. And I'd finished the book and I thought it was awesome. And when I saw the author was a woman, I didn't know women wrote like science books about measuring the universe. You know what I mean?
That's ignorant.
I know it's very ignorant. And I just thought like, I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that. It just really impressed me. And then from that moment on, I've accepted that women are the best authors. So
Right.
yeah,
Nice.
because women are so much better at communicating than men are. I thought that like all these sciences were dominated by like European men or something.
That is true. That is true.
And I know it's just the 21st century. That's why I'm embarrassed to talk about it, because I'd never read a book about science.
Mm.
You know, I had a kind of different education from most people. I was self-taught. I didn't, you know, I just read a bunch of books and taught myself. So like science, I didn't know who any of the authors were, you know, and all these discoveries of evolutionary scientists and biologists, they're all men as far as like what's available inside textbooks.
Yes.
And I think it's a shame because first of all, there's more women than there are men, you know, and there is no one without the other. You know,
Exactly.
the chicken without the chicken or the egg, you know, we are the chicken and the egg. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Good expression.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for all the women out there. I now see I was a blind man, and when I was
You can
18,
see.
I could see. So yeah, Kitty Ferguson, I think you're awesome. And what makes her really special is that she's a classically trained musician from Juilliard School of Music.
Oh wow. What does she play?
I think she played violin. I'm not really
Oh
sure.
wow. Love it.
But Juilliard is the top music school in
I
the United
remember.
States. And with the other one is the Boston Conservatory of Music. And they're both in New England. They're both in Massachusetts, if I'm not mistaken. I think Juilliard's in New York, but they're in that New England area.
Right.
So that was kind of like the best merging of these two worlds for me, because I was a musician and an athlete, and I was always fascinated by space and astronomy and the stars, and you know, just the shiny objects that, you know, illuminate our night sky. It's obviously one of the oldest forms of entertainment and mystery and wonder that.
Got me intrigued. I want to read her now.
Yeah. Yeah, she's awesome, Kitty Ferguson. So if you can get access to that book, Measuring the Universe, I left that book in Miami. If I had it, I would give it to you.
Don't worry, I'll find it. I'll make a plan.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give you the name of a website where you can get a bunch of PDF books for free. So,
Nice.
but I'm not gonna say it on here because
No.
please go ahead and buy your books. Like, there's so many used books that you can buy for like $1 or less.
Yeah, there
So
is.
if you're in the USA or in other places where you have access to English books, here we're in Chile, so
It's very difficult to find English books.
yeah,
Very, very difficult.
yeah. And if you probably find them, they'll be at full price. And books aren't, you know, you can find books from the 50s, 60s, 70s that like the pages are falling out, but there's so much knowledge in there that
What about you? I really don't like reading books online.
yeah. No,
You know, I
I
like the
actually,
feeling of actually the actual paper, the smell
yes,
of the book. A new book, when you open it, it's like opening up a present. I
yes,
absolutely adore it. But like
yes,
reading online, it doesn't have that same connection. And I like start reading and then I just like get distracted usually.
yeah. So I do agree with you, and this is why I ordered a Kindle. So I'm getting a Kindle. I'm really
Ah,
excited about that because I know it doesn't reemplazar. It doesn't
Place.
replace. See, this always happens. It doesn't replace the, like you said, that experience, that new book smell, or just even an old book smell.
Mm.
There's something about it, and I don't know if, because again, I can go kind of deep in these things, but all these words are printed on the page, so I don't know if that has like some sort of resonance to it. Like it has like it like resonates knowledge. There's something about it versus the binary zeros and ones
Exactly.
on a computer screen. So I do have a bunch of ebooks, but
Mm.
and I do have a Kindle on my computer app, but it hurts my eyes. I don't like the computer screen.
But apparently, like the Kindle, it actually adapts
Exactly.
to your eyes and
That's
everything.
why.
Ah, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice. You have to show me when you get it.
Yes. Well, like you said, I can't go over there, so I ordered it. It's back in the States right now,
Ah,
and I'm
and
just
someone can't send it to you?
they can, but shipping something costs like $60. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my word! Yeah, it's the same with me in South Africa.
Really?
Yeah, like I so badly want some little treats from South
Yeah.
Africa, and it's just too expensive to ship over.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
sad.
It is sad, and it's all because of these customs and these imaginary borders, about countries and all that. But I wish they could. I wish there was a faster way. I wish there was a better way. But we do have it pretty easy. People ask me, what do I miss about the United States? I miss my family. I miss my friends, and I miss Amazon Prime. You can get something at your doorstep in 15 hours. So yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
shout out to capitalism. I'm a capitalist. I like to order something and have it show up at my door the next day.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm really waiting for the Kindle so I can read these PDF books, but without it hurting my eyes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. So what do you miss most about South Africa?
The same as you. My family, my friends. I miss the culture
Yeah.
and the food. I
Really?
miss the food so much. And the drinks. Oh, they got amazing drinks.
Yeah?
Like really, really amazing drinks. But the food and just like getting together, having a braai. We have a braai. That's a
That's
sardos.
right.
That's barbecues.
That's right.
So having a braai, being together, like the conversation, speaking two different languages between each other.
That's awesome.
I really miss that. And the food, like I said, the food. My mother's cooking is amazing.
Really?
She cooks amazing.
And does she have that German influence mixed with the South African?
Yes, definitely.
That's
She's
awesome.
an awesome cook. And luckily I got that from her. So
Really?
I really need to cook you something one day.
Sure.
Something South African.
Sure. The only thing I've cooked for you is cake.
And it
I've-
was good.
Okay.
And because it didn't have sugar. So
Yeah,
I love
gluten
it.
free, sugar free.
Oh, it was good. It was really good. You should order some.
Right on. So I got to make you another cake then.
Yeah, I'll make you some South African food.
Okay.
It's like a stew. There's one called potjie,
Okay.
and we cook it on the fire with a special pot.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of vegetables. But you eat meat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't eat a lot of red meat, but
Yeah.
that's a good dish.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is an interesting topic too. Like, I love meat, but I kind of have a rule about the meat, about the red meat. That
Yeah.
I have to be able to break it with the fork. If it's like soft enough for me to break it with a fork,
Like mechada.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
if it's like in like a stew or like a goulash or something like that,
Mm.
where it's like a soft meat that's like pressure cooked or something,
Mm-hmm.
that I can do. But like a steak, I can't do it. I don't know why. It's just too hard. I know it's delicious. I know it smells incredible. It tastes incredible. But ever since I was little, I could never get through it. I could never physically get through it, and I'd just create like a ball in my mouth, and I thought it was kind of gross. Yeah.
Okay, I've never heard of someone doing
Yeah.
that, but yeah, no, I agree
Because
with
I'd
you.
like chew it, and all the like nutrients would kind of like flow into me, but there would still be some sort of like fibrous content that I
Ah.
couldn't get through,
Yeah.
and I would just swallow it as a kid, and I'd get really bad stomach aches because I was a bad
Ah.
chewer. I was a bad chewer, and all that comes from breathing poorly. So if you learn how to breathe, you can learn how to chew, and if you learn how to chew, you'll fix your stomach.
Okay, and now do you know how to chew?
I learned when I was 26. Yeah.
Okay.
I learned how to breathe when I was 26, and that what's this word I'm trying to use? Well, after that,
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about this word because I'm trying to incorporate new vocab into my everyday speech. But
Excellent.
I can't think of this word. It's okay because that's part of it. It's like when you learn a song on a musical instrument. There's a difference between you being able to play it to the camera or to an audio recorder and then playing in front of other people. There are all
Right.
these different steps you have to go through. or it's like a joke. You know, it's like you probably know a joke in your head or something, but then when someone says, "Okay, say the joke,"
Yeah, and then you're completely
yeah,
blank.
yeah, you don't have access to it.
Yeah.
So
But it's on the tip of your tongue.
yeah, because I was practicing it today. I was like, man, I'm gonna try to say this word today on the podcast. I'm gonna try to say it. Yeah,
Dave, you made me curious now. I want to know what the word is.
it just means after. It means after, but it starts with an S, and it's kind of like a long word. It's like it's like a mix of like post with S. I don't know. I'm not sure what the word is, but I hope it'll come to me.
Okay.
I hope
Yeah,
it'll
I
come to
really,
me.
really hope so too, because I want to know. You intrigued me now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't remember exactly what we were talking about. What was the?
We're talking about making food.
That's right. We were talking about making food, the meat. So yeah, if the meat is soft enough for me to break with a fork, I'll eat it for sure.
Definitely.
Pressure cooked meat or stew, incredible.
Yeah. But this dish that I'm talking about, you don't necessarily have to make meat.
Yeah.
You can make chicken, you can make a seafood
Yeah.
dish, and anything, really.
Yeah.
You just have to be creative, inventive. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, well, that's kind of funny to me because meat for me is kind of like everything. You know, it's like every kind of like animal muscle fiber.
Oh, yeah.
To me, I consider meat, but I've learned that here in Chile too. Like if you say carne,
Mm.
carne is only like cow meat, like
Beef. Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't consider chicken or fish or turkey or pork carne. Like they all have their different kind of.
And you don't do that in the States?
I don't know. I think it's just me. I think it's just me that I just like meat for me is like all meat.
Okay.
But then if we go into the subcategories of beef and chicken and fish and turkey.
I have been eating less though. I've been trying to be like more like eating chickpeas and going to more to that kind of side to get my protein
Okay.
and that kind of stuff. But I love fish. That's
Yeah.
for sure. What do you love? Which is your preferred?
Protein,
Mm-hmm.
chicken. Because
Okay.
it's just so easy and it tastes great. It tastes like I think how meat is supposed to taste. Like how every animal. It's like if you try other animals, everyone always says, "Oh, it kind of tastes like chicken." Like you eat rabbit, kind of tastes like chicken.
That's true.
You eat a duck, oh, it kind of tastes like chicken. You know, you eat crocodile or alligator, you're like, oh, kind of tastes like chicken.
You eat worms, kind of tastes like chicken.
Maybe I don't know. I haven't prepared them properly yet.
What is the weirdest thing you've eaten?
The weirdest thing I've ever eaten. I licked the snail once, but I didn't eat it.
Why did you do that?
It just looked like I just love that kind of like smooth kind of like albumin kind of like texture, and I thought it looked like a tongue. You know, it kind of had that like tongue kind of texture. So I thought it would just feel great on my tongue. So
And how did it feel?
yeah, it felt good. It was nice.
Well, we eat snails in South Africa a lot.
Yeah?
Don't you eat them in the States? With like a cheesy garlic a sauce and you dip bread into it. Oh, it's
Yeah?
really good.
I've never done it, but I know that in I'm from Miami. In Miami, there's a lot of snails because there's a lot of green and there's a lot of water. So where there's a lot of water, there's a lot of plants, and where there's a lot of plants, there's definitely snails because snails love to eat everything. They
Yeah.
eat all kinds of plants and orchids and bonsais. They'll eat everything.
Right.
So my dad had specifically that. He had bonsais and orchids, and my mom had like chili peppers and habanero peppers and
Nice.
albahaca. How do you say albahaca?
Basil.
Basil. That's right. That's right. So we had all kinds of different vegetables, and I always remember my dad grabbing the snails and just throwing them and chucking them over to the neighbor's empty yard. But it was a big empty yard. He had like 2 acres and like nobody lived there. They would just send a guy once a week just to cut the grass because it would grow uncontrollably.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a story.
So I've always associated snails with like eating everything. So every time I see a snail, I just grab it and throw it somewhere else because I know it's gonna eat all the flowers and everything.
Oh, shame. And I think they're so cute.
They are cute. I think they're cute, and I don't kill them. I just relocate them.
Yeah, but throwing them, they're probably you're gonna break their shell in their house.
No, but usually like in Miami, it's there's a lot of grass, so everything
Okay.
is like covered in grass. Not here like Chile. Everything is kind of like 2 colors. Well, the 5th region, you kind of have like brown and gray and khaki. That's kind of like the colors of the geography.
Not outside your house. You got a lot of green.
Yeah, this is all man maintained. There's a beautiful like scene of flowers and different plants and trees, fruit bearing trees out here. but that's kind of where our gatos comunes go
Yeah,
to,
right.
to maintain everything. And that's kind of something I've observed here in Chile, that if you see grass, it's because someone's maintaining it.
Yeah.
Because grass doesn't exist here.
No, it doesn't, especially in the north. Have you ever been to the north?
I've never been.
It's just desert, desert, desert. You're very lucky if you even see, like, I don't know, a flower or something like that.
Okay.
Uh,
And what is the most common tree? Is it a palm tree? What trees do they have there? If they
They
have
have a lot of cactuses,
a cactus.
obviously.
This is very California, Mexico, Texas.
No, but no, it's a different type of desert. It's not like the Sahara desert or something like that. It's like rocky.
Rocky desert, like Mars.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's not very attractive at all.
And have you? Well, like you used to live in the north, right?
All right, I did.
Where in the north did you live?
I lived in Antofagasta.
Antofagasta.
Yeah.
Right on. Shout out to EC. EC, what's up? How are you, EC? So EC is your nephew, right?
Yes.
I mean niece. EC is
My
your niece.
niece. Are you still teaching her?
Yeah. We're still together.
Ah, nice. She's such a cute kid.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's amazing.
Very clever.
Yeah, she's really smart. I love her personality. Her personality's great. She makes me so happy.
Nice.
So
I
thank
love
you,
that.
Cass,
It's a
for
great pleasure.
yeah,
It's a
thank you
great
for
pleasure.
connecting us.
Mm.
She's been a really nice addition to my weeks and to my life.
Excellent. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah,
That's how
and
people connect.
yes, there you go. We didn't use storytelling this time, but
I was going to say that. I thought, like, let me try and change the vocabulary a little bit too.
no, you're good. So beyond just teaching her English, we can also talk about personal stuff like
Oh,
after
yes.
class.
She loves it.
Yeah, so I've told her about my woes, about my issues, about my problems, and she always kind of gives me good advice. So and then she's kind of shared some stories with me, and I've been able to offer some advice too.
And tell me, how's her English going? Has it improved well?
It's great. It's great. Her English is great. You know, her only area of, I would say, more where we should spend more attention on is verbs.
Ah, yeah.
Verbs. So, because it happens to everyone, you know, verbs are what make the language rich. You know, the actions, people love verbs. So, like, I think the wider palette of verbs you have in your vocabulary, the richer your vocabulary is.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Please send her my love.
Right on.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little about your time in the north of Chile.
Mm.
Or no? No, not so much?
Well, it's not that bad. At least I have my dad there, and he's amazing. He
Yeah.
really is amazing. But there's nowhere you can go. Like literally,
Yeah.
you only have San Pedro Atacama,
Yeah.
which is beautiful though. I do admit, but you only have there, and it's really expensive and it's dirty.
Damn.
But you know, I've got my family there, and that's what makes it nice.
Yeah.
I've got some aunties and things like that, and good
Yeah.
friends there. I've got very good friends there. Another South African friend, Jackie.
Right on.
All right.
And what about here? Oh, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, okay.
Continue. I think I'm done there.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, listening is the number one skill. You got to listen, guys. So I'm guilty of being of anticipating a bit, but yeah, I'm really grateful that you're here, Cassy.
Thank you for inviting me.
Right on.
I've had fun.
Cool. Good. Me too. So I heard that you mentioned right now the Saharan desert.
Mhm.
Did you travel through Africa like in your time there, or did you stay more close to home?
More close to home. Obviously, around South Africa. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Right
Of
on.
course. And like Mozambique,
Okay.
which is like one of the neighboring countries,
Yeah.
which has got like virgin beaches. It's absolutely beautiful, and the people are so humble. It's like a little village. I don't know how to explain it. It's just incredible, and they speak Portuguese there.
Oh wow. Yeah.
They're Portuguese ascendants.
So there's a lot of European influence in Africa because of
A lot.
what are those people called? The Europeans that came. What is the verb that they do? Is it imperialism? Is that imperialist?
They colonize.
Colonize. There
Yeah.
you go. Colonize. Sorry, guys.
I was also thinking there for a moment because I wanted to speak in Spanish again.
Yeah. So colonizers from different parts of Europe. So you got Portuguese, you got French, you got Dutch, you got British.
You got Italian, you got, and then obviously all the African tribes. There's
Yeah.
a lot of different African tribes. You got the Zulus, you got the Vengas, you got the Xhosas, you got a lot.
What about the Maasai? Do you know about them? The Maasai people?
No, that's more in the top of
I
Africa.
think so. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
it's like where the baboons are. I don't know where the baboons are, but
That's a Congo, no?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, Congo.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
read a book about some scientist. I
You
think I was
told
telling
me
you about
about
it.
that, yes.
Yeah, yeah, about the baboons. The guy's name is like Robert Sapolsky or something like that. He's like a really brilliant neuroscientist, and he's been kind of popping up on podcasts nowadays.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's where I learned about the baboons and kind of like how their hierarchy works and
Mm-hmm.
how it's similar to how humans are. And I learned about these Maasai people that are really incredible. So, what are some great things or some invaluable lessons that you learned from the tribes in Africa? Some like indispensable lessons that you learned.
Well, definitely they have a lot of family values. Family is like the most important of all.
Yeah.
Their culture, they're very loyal to their culture,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, because all of them are different. Um, they have a lot of but the different tribes are different.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not an expert in this, so
Yeah.
I can't tell you completely, but I do know that's like, for example, Bushmen.
Yeah.
They are like the most primal, I
Yeah.
would say.
Mm-hmm.
They still wear like the leather skins
Mm-hmm.
and things like that, and they're tiny, like really, really, really tiny people,
Okay.
like really little small, but
Yeah.
they fast. And
Okay.
they still got their hunting skills and everything. They haven't really adapted to the modern world as
Mhm.
much. And I have a lot of respect for them,
Yeah.
definitely, because they still got their morals.
Yeah.
Mm.
I ask this because pretty much everywhere we go, there's either been people there before us
Mm.
or there's immigrants that come to join us.
Of course.
So in Miami, there's a big Cuban community. Shout out to my Cubanos out there. I love you guys. And I feel like there's just like me, just the fact of living in Miami, I'm like a quarter Cuban. You know what I mean?
Yes, I
It's
understand.
it's just part of like everyday life. So I wonder if there's something similar to that, or is there like a separation? Is there a clear separation, or is there like this undeniable
Look, they
seeping of kind of cultures that merge together?
yeah, there is. Unfortunately, in my country, there is a lot of racism.
Yeah.
It does exist, but like then you get groups like my group. Like I've got um, African friends. I've got colored friends. I've got like a whole range of all the races, and we don't see color, you know.
Hmm.
But then you get like some people that are like completely blinded.
Yeah.
Hmm. So it's sad. It is
Yeah.
sad. So that separates a lot of the cultures in South Africa as well.
And are there a lot of Muslim people in South Africa? 'Cause
Right.
you said Khalid right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of Indians
Indians.
and Khalids.
Who are the Khalid people?
They are like their family. They have black people and white people in their family, and it's a
Mhm.
mix.
Yeah.
That's why we say It's like Morenos.
Morenos. Yeah, I got it. Because Khalid does sound like an Islamic name or or like an Arabic name or something like
Oh
that.
no, we have like in South Africa we have colours, whites, blacks.
Got it.
You got it, and then
Yeah.
the Latinos.
I did hear that they did bring a lot of Indian people to South Africa, right?
I have no idea, but we have a lot.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
we have
a
a lot.
lot of Indian people. There's
Yeah,
this.
they make the best curries, by the way.
Really?
Really, they make amazing curries.
Damn, I love curry.
And their hot food, their spices are incredible.
That's one thing I want to ask you. What is the culture of spicy food like in South Africa?
Very, very, very hot. The hotter the better. Especially like my brother and I,
Yeah.
we even had this hot sauce once
Yeah.
that was called scorpion sting.
Uh-huh.
And you just put like the tip of a knife
Yeah.
and we tasted it. I promise you, probably about 2 or 3 hours, we were like, we couldn't breathe
Oh my
basically and
goodness.
crying. And
Yeah.
no, the hotter the better.
That's
We
awesome.
love hot food. Yeah.
Actually, now that I remember, I brought some of my hot sauce.
I loved it.
Yeah. Right on. So it's all kind of coming back to me now. You actually do enjoy hot sauce.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's quite ironic because when I came to Chile, I was like
Right?
thinking, chili, they're going to love chili.
Yeah.
And then hardly anybody eats chili. And I'm like,
Same.
what the hell?
The same exact thing happened to me.
And now when I meet someone that eats like a Chilean that eats hot food, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, man.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
pour some more.
exactly. You know that is a big struggle here that we can't find hot sauce here. Like you
No.
can get like this like mild sauce of like from the supermarket. It's mostly salt anyway, so that
Mm.
initial sting you feel is salt and it's not very spicy.
Hmm.
But Chileans are very sensitive to hot sauce.
But their food is very much more bland,
Yes, very
simple.
bland. It's very bland.
Look,
Sorry,
I'm not
guys.
trying to offend because I really do like Chilean food. I've gotten used
Yeah,
to it, you know?
yeah,
Like, give me a cazuela or porotos and I'm happy,
yeah.
you know? But I need to have hot sauce in there.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for my knee jerk reaction. I just thought you'd pick a different word to like hurt their feelings less. I thought you'd say like subtle or something, but you said bland. I'm like you nailed it. I'm like damn, it's true. There is no other way to put it.
Sorry.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the dictatorship, the fascism. I don't know what it is, but the food is kind of very bland.
Very
Yeah.
simple, but it's good though.
Yeah. And I had the same thing because growing up, my dad is from Chile, but he loves hot sauce. So
My
this
dad too.
really,
Yeah.
right? So this kind of strengthens that idea that Chile, you know, in Mexico, a hot like a pepper is called a chile.
Yeah.
So it's like great. I'm gonna go to the country of peppers, you know,
Yeah.
the country of hot sauce and firepower. But then I get here and it's none to be found. There's no
No,
hot sauce.
doesn't exist.
They have one kind of it's like a crushed red pepper called merken,
Mm.
which is good. It'll kind of get you through. It's kind of like if you're an addict and then you kind of go cold turkey and then you kind of find this like middle ground that you kind of
Right.
rehabbing. That's kind of what like merken. That's kind of what like merken's role would be. But I also noticed that my tolerance went down. My hot sauce tolerance went down
Really?
coming here because I didn't eat hot sauce for a long time
Mm.
and it kind of made me sad because I'm from Miami, a very hot place, very tropical,
Yeah.
well, subtropical place. It's the only subtropics in the whole country.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so close to the United States because we have our own ecosystem literally.
Mm.
And the people are very hot and the weather's really hot. Everyone's kind of sweaty and I don't know, just hot sauce just makes me excited when I eat food.
Yeah.
I kind of like a little bit of pain. Like if I cry a little bit, that's fine. If I have some boogers, that's fine. But I do like the stimulation that it gives to my food.
I must agree. I must agree, especially in pastas.
Really
I love it in pastas. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So with pasta, I kind of like more of the like dried hot sauce. I mean crushed red pepper or merquén or the cayenne or something like that. If it's like in powder, so
Ah.
I'll usually put like a powdered hot sauce
Mhm.
on pasta. But
Nice.
I like the wet hot sauce for like proteins, for like
Ah,
meat,
you're right.
chicken, fish, turkey,
So you got a whole routine.
kind of. And
Okay.
I've like you saw like a year and a half ago or so, I started making these hot sauces here, but it was thanks to the immigrants that came from the Caribbean, from Haiti.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they brought Scotch bonnet peppers or if it's the Mexicans that brought the habanero peppers.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks to them and to the Peruvians, because the Peruvians are
They
more
like hot sauce.
yeah,
I love that. Yeah.
yes, the Peruvians bring their peppers here, and I was able to create a fusion between the Caribbean pepper, the Peruvian pepper, and the Chilean pepper as like a base. And I created this really nice, really spicy hot sauce.
It was delicious. By the way, he brought it to the Navy school and everybody loved it.
Right on. So yeah, I was about to say Miss Cassandra. I'm just so used to it. Sorry, Cassie.
It's okay.
So Cassie and I used to work at the same place, and that's where we met. And of course, I was super happy to find out that you ate hot sauce as well. So
Oh, it was good. It was good. And your cake.
yeah,
I would have eaten the cake with the hot sauce if I could have.
yeah,
But you didn't bring it the same day.
no, but yeah, that's that was kind of my go-to recipes, the hot sauce and the cake. I kind of went into sauerkraut after that, so I make like a really nice sauerkraut now.
Nice.
I don't know if you've tried that before.
I haven't, but you must give me the recipe, definitely.
It's
I
good.
love sauerkraut.
It's awesome.
Mm.
It's awesome. So we're talking about, oh yeah, so talking about spicy food, South Africa, kind of dealing with it, the absence of spicy food here in Chile. Yeah.
Right.
So I asked this question to a lot of people, but what's your favorite thing in the world besides family or
Okay,
What's
besides family?
yeah, besides family, what's your favorite thing in the world?
Okay, my favorite thing in the world? That's a difficult question. That's like a really difficult
Is it?
question. Yeah, it's very difficult. What would you say?
For me, it's kind of easy because I picked a vocation. You know, like for me, it was music. So
Okay.
music was kind of my identity.
Okay,
You know,
then
when
mine would be definitely feelings.
feelings.
Yeah, feelings. Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely.
Can you talk more about that, or can you talk more about this?
Because I feel a lot. And I think it's also because of my star sign. Although I don't know if you believe in that, but
Sure, tell
I'm a
me.
Cancer,
Okay.
and I'm very sensitive. I feel people completely, like it affects me. Like when we were working at the Navy school and the
Yeah.
kids were depressed, it affected me
Yeah.
intensely.
Yeah.
What's going on with your computer?
Nothing.
Okay.
It just has
Sorry, it
a
distracted me.
screensaver that it has an apple that jumps around.
Okay. So yeah, so I would say feelings. Like
Yeah.
I'm like a Care Bear. Do you know Care Bears?
Yes, yes, I
I'm
do.
like a Care Bear. I feel completely everything. Like I absorb
Yeah.
energies and feelings from people. And sometimes it can be a good thing, but sometimes it can be very bad as well.
So there's this awareness that's been popularized through social media, and people have been able to label themselves different things. But now recently, there's this a lot of attention on empaths, for example. So do you consider yourself an empath? Are you empathetic towards
Yes,
feelings, for
I would
example?
say that. Definitely. Big heart.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. Because I know cancers are very about the home, right? You guys are about like home and family and love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely it's feelings. That would
Feelings.
say my favorite thing in the world because it makes me feel good at the same time, but
Yeah.
at the same time it can make me feel completely. Can I swear on you? Shit, you
Yeah.
know.
This is the free
so,
speech podcast. We
so
can say any bad word we want here.
okay, right.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
It's okay.
I got a mouth like a sailor.
That's fine. I know they say that it's a measure of intelligence. I don't know if it's true. People say a lot of things, but you can say whatever you want to here in any language you want, in Afrikaans, English, Spanish. So here it's all about mixing everything together.
Awesome,
Yeah.
love it.
So where do feelings fit into to your life?
They everything, completely everything. Like every moment, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're connected with everything for me. Literally, like to nature, to
Hmm.
food. When I cook, it's I put in a lot of love.
Yeah.
Like to friends, like to cloudy days. It's everything. My
Yeah.
dog, everything.
And do cloudy days affect you?
They make me feel more lovable, honestly.
Really?
I like the cold, so they make me feel more lovable. They make me want to stay inside,
Yeah.
obviously, but I love them. I love them.
Yeah. Because some people get really depressed and and they feel that they can't do what they really want to do because of the weather, for example.
They give me more energy, honestly.
Yeah.
Than a hot, scorching day.
Yeah.
I would take a rainy, cold, miserable day, like people would say,
Yeah.
anytime. And you obviously different because you're from Miami.
Well, good question. You know, this is because in Miami we do have this very bipolar weather. Even though it's all hot all year, we probably have like 1 month where the weather is agreeable. It's pleasant. It's like moderate, but besides that, it's hot all the time, and it's like a sweaty hot. But the good thing is that everyone's sweating, so
Yeah, it's like, is it like Brazil kind of
it's something like that.
humid?
Yeah, it's very humid. It's very humid. It's the subtropics, so it's not the full tropics, but it's a subtropic, and it could be very sunny, and then a few seconds later, a giant cloud can come over, and it could be
Stormy.
pouring like
South Africa's the same
yeah, and
in
then
summer.
maybe like half an hour later, the cloud passes and it's back to sunny.
Have you ever had it raining while it's sunny?
Yeah, yeah.
We call that in South Africa a monkey's wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
A monkey's wedding.
Yeah, they say the monkeys are getting married when it's sunny and it rains at the same time.
That's awesome. Do you know why? Do you know a little more about that?
I unfortunately don't, but we should look it up.
Yeah, there
We
has to
should
be
look it up.
some
It's
etymology
just the
behind that.
saying that we have. Yeah.
Yeah, in
Mm.
USA we call it a sun shower, I think.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
But a monkey's wedding's cuter, no?
it is cuter. It's just that America also has that problem that it's kind of bland. I don't know. There's something kind of bland about it. So I think that's why America's always gravitated towards the immigrants for entertainment.
Ah, I understand. Okay, I understand completely what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to express that.
Yeah. I've studied this a little bit. I'm not African American. I look European American, and my DNA is European American, mostly 80%, but culturally I'm Latin American, and I was born in the United States, so I was raised there, so I do have the culture of the United States as well. So I will never understand the suffering of an African American person, but I do know a little bit about how the entertainment worked in the early days of the United States with how they pleased the European Americans. And this is kind of, I don't hear a lot of people talking about this because I think this is part of the problem as well. That I think a lot of people are kind of stuck on these old labels. Like, are you familiar with cancel culture?
Mm-mm.
Cancel culture is in the United States is this kind of rampant, like pseudo woke movement of because everyone's getting more sensitive every day.
That's
So
true.
so it's almost like you're not allowed to say what you really feel on these platforms that we have available to us.
Mm-hmm.
If you say something that's not in the community guidelines of YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or any other private entity, they can block you and they can silence you. And this has also happened in the entertainment industry with actors or actresses or famous people that get on the internet and they speak their mind about politics or anything else. If their employer doesn't like it, they can get canceled. If the fans don't like it, they could vote or yeah, they could kind of vote for them to lose their jobs and to lose their careers and to kind of be finished.
Right.
So this is this movement of cancel culture. So there's this team called the Redskins in the United States,
Right.
and they forced this team to change their name from the Redskins to something else because they said the name was racist. The Redskins, because that's what they would refer to as the Native Americans
Yeah.
in the United States, the Redskins. But I find it deeply and yeah, deeply hypocritical because at the same time, you have the president of the United States up on a microphone saying white people and black people, but these people are called red and you make them change your name. You have to stop calling yourself white and you have to stop calling them black. You know, you're European American, like you're the bastard child of Europe, you know, and you guys were, I mean, like, and African Americans were slaves that were traded by their own people and brought to the United States against their will. So I think we need to get over that first kind of like imagine if you're just in the desert and you see someone in the distance, oh, that's a black person, that's a white person. But I think we need to like evolve a little more and just talk about the geography that we come from. If you come from Africa, you're African American or French African or Dutch African or whatever. I think there's other ways of saying it than black and white people because it's just even saying the geography still divides us, but I think it brings us like a little bit closer or a little less far from each other.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think people would think that openly
Yeah.
as you and I do. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the problem. People
Yeah.
are squares.
Yeah. So that's kind of what that is America's greatest problem. It's the greatest guilt that they have, how they had slaves. They had slaves and they abused and violated these people for hundreds of years. And I kind of don't like that argument of like pull yourself up from your bootstraps. You know what I mean? When it comes to African Americans, they say like, oh, you live in America, the greatest country of the world, or we have the greatest economy or whatever. Like you could be anything you want to, just work hard. But like if you think about it, like we're not like if for example, if you live in New York, most of the people that were born and raised in New York have never seen the Statue of Liberty. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like if you live in Paris or France, like you probably haven't seen the Eiffel Tower. Like people's realities are inside their four walls. You know what I mean? Inside their families, and you
Right.
see that with immigrant parents. Like, yeah, maybe I was born in New York, but inside my four walls, I lived in Russia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm quoting Gary Vee there, but for me, it was kind of like that too. I was in Latin America inside my house, and outside I was in America.
Yeah. I
So,
understand what you're saying.
yeah, so I think that culture should be something that's celebrated. And in the United States, it's not celebrated because they kind of just want you to be American as like this like new race, this new like alpha class
Mm.
in the planet or on the planet. And I think it's a shame because if you ask someone, "Where are you from?" America. "Where are your parents from?" America. Okay, and where your parents from? America. And what about your parents from? Oh, I don't know. Let me ask.
Okay.
And then they come back and they say Sweden. I'm like, all right, there you go. So you're Swedish American. You know, you're not like only American, but
Mm-hmm.
they've kind of like cut ties with the monarchy or whatever the issues were, the religious issues that happened in Europe, and they came here and created their own people. But they're not white people. You know what I mean? Like maybe your skin is a little less orange than an African person's skin, but it turns out we're all orange. We're all just different shades of orange.
Or pink.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever hue you want to give it.
I do agree with you in
Yeah,
that sense completely. Yes, definitely.
yeah,
No racism.
yeah. Like it is a tricky subject, but talking about the entertainment of the United States,
Mm,
that ever since the beginning, it was always the African slaves that would entertain the European American citizens.
right.
So because they were the best at music, they were the best at dancing, they were the best at
They
the
really
arts.
best at everything that they're good at. Sports,
Yeah,
singing, they fast, they strong, they
yeah,
physically, naturally well built.
yes,
Mm.
yes. So that's kind of where the whole blackface thing came from. Like, are you familiar with blackface?
No.
Blackface was this practice of European Americans painting their face black and
Okay.
performing on stage. And a lot of people take offense to that today, and it's punishable up to being canceled. If you do that nowadays, you can get canceled.
Mm.
So, but a lot of people don't know, and I read this. I may be mistaken, but that the origin of this was actually that these European American folks, they wanted to emulate and be as good as the African
Ah.
entertainers. So they would paint themselves black to kind of make it seem that way. But they never were as good. You know what I mean?
No, of course. Of course.
So nowadays people see it as like a mockery of African American people, but the origin was just to try to be as good as them.
Yeah,
So
you always need to know the the story behind the story, you know?
it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel going back to that pull yourself by your bootstraps thing and about the four walls is your reality. Like imagine the what do we call it? Like the ladder or the like generational. I'm missing some words here. It's like tree.
Evolution.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like imagine the like all these generations throughout this evolution of abuse and slavery and just complete humiliation and violation of all type of like God-given rights. And this is just hundreds of years of people that are born out of this. So when they look inside their four walls, this is the reality and has been the reality for hundreds of years. So you can't expect an African American to just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They don't
Mm,
have the modeling to live as someone else has because the modeling that everyone else has been different. And the United
exactly.
States has always done their best job of keeping them separate and giving them the worst treatment of everything. So I don't know if there's a way to recover from this without a total recall. So
I don't think so. The same it's just the same in South Africa. I don't
mm,
think so.
yeah.
You can't change some individuals' minds.
Yeah,
So it's almost impossible.
yeah. I think
Mm.
that's what's unique about the African American and probably other African people as well, but specifically the African American because if you now meet Africans in Paris or in Denmark or in Spain or in
They
Italy,
they really evaluate it, like evolved, sorry.
these people were never slaves.
Mm,
You know what I mean? They're just African people that went to Europe. So they're very different from an African American that was enslaved for 400 years.
mm,
So even though they come from the same continent, they're vastly different people just because of the abuse that the generational abuse that's been put upon them. So I think it's really sad, and what makes it even worse is that there was this like a while ago they were like, oh, go back to Africa,
ah,
but at the same time they never left Africa. They were sold by their own people to the United States, so they were basically not accepted by Africa, sold for money to the United States, never accepted in the United States. So they're neither accepted in the United States nor Africa, and they don't want to go back because they don't feel welcome there. And just the generational gap is so huge that there's no cultural glue that kind of ties them
Mm.
in that's like in that immediate sense right now. So it's really difficult. I think it's extremely difficult, and I think African Americans need a lot more sympathy and help than just pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
I do agree with you. I do agree with you. But I don't know the situation
Yeah,
in America, honestly. But you do see it on the news and that.
yeah.
Yeah. So
What about South Africa? Were the South African slaves over there?
that's a very long story, and it's a very actually sad story and everything. But there's a lot of, like I said, racism. But it's not only the black people that have suffered; it's also white people that have suffered, and Indians and all the nation. You know, just because of people blaming the past, bringing the past into the present, and that has caused a lot of trauma for a lot of people.
Mm.
So it's very sad because the history of South Africa, there used to be apartheid. I don't know if you know what that is. Where the
I
blacks
know.
would be separated, or darker colored skin, if I could put it that way, would
Mhm.
be separated from the whites because of the Afrikaans. But yes, they were. It's it's a sensitive topic actually to talk about, but the result is that blacks and whites and all colors in South Africa are suffering just because of people that are thinking of the past and not living in the present. That's basically the point.
Yeah.
Mm.
And for someone that doesn't know the story of South Africa, like what could you illuminate for them without going too deep or too sensitively into the subject?
That color doesn't matter, lives do.
There you go. Right? Because some people focus on color, but I think it's more about how you behave, right? Some people
Exactly.
behave like angels, and some people behave like shit.
That's all about good and bad. That's it. Simple as that.
Yeah,
And the educated and not educated and
that's
things
right.
like that. So definitely color does not matter. We're all pink on the inside. You know what I mean?
We're all pink on the inside.
Exactly.
And what's your opinion on education? Like the importance of education? Because you just said that.
Yes, more than education is being basically raised right, manners, like and knowing what's right from wrong or wrong from right, basically. I would
Yeah.
say. I'm not necessarily talking about sitting in school books doing mathematics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the way you're raised or manners and morals.
Right on.
Hmm.
Cool. So, what is one change you want to see in the world?
One change,
Yeah, or a few.
a few. There's so many. What is one that you want to see?
I want people to protect the ocean. I want people to control these Chinese illegal unregulated Chinese fleets that are plundering the ocean and killing the coral reefs and invading other people's national waters and taking their fish.
They've been here recently, you know.
Yeah, and they've been shot down
Mm.
by
The
by the
navy here
yeah.
is brutal.
Yeah, the Peruvian Navy, the Argentinian Navy, the Colombian Navy, and
Chilean navy.
the Chilean Navy have been protecting our coastal waters from these illegal Chinese ships. And what makes it really sad is that a lot of these ships are manned by slave labor,
Mm.
which is really terrible. So they're basically there just to keep themselves alive. And if they object, they get thrown overboard.
That's sad.
It's really sad. It's really sad. But I feel like these are problems that a lot of people don't know about. When people want to change the climate, for example, you know, there's a lot of attention on changing the climate, and people are focused on the land and the trees because we know that the trees photosynthesize and they create oxygen for
Mm.
us, and they eat the carbon. But the ocean is actually a greater producer of oxygen than all the trees combined, because there's these little phytoplankton, these little tiny microorganisms
Mhm.
that photosynthesize through the sun and they create their own oxygen. So
Right, look at you. Right.
so it's really, I think, of prime priority to take care of the ocean.
Mm.
And there's this
Then one thing I definitely want to change about the world would be animal abuse,
yeah,
animal cruelty,
yeah.
because they also what makes this world what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And animal cruelty, I'm a big animal lover, so
Yeah.
definitely animal cruelty is like that's what I would change.
Cool. And a light and easy question. What's your favorite animal?
My favorite. I got all it too many. I
Yeah?
love animals so much.
What about
Remember, I
top 5
come.
or top 10?
I okay, top 5. I would say definitely dogs. I
Mm-hmm.
love dogs. I love tortoises. They're so
Okay.
cute.
Yeah, they're super cute.
Um, sugar gliders.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Super
very
cute.
cute. Um,
Mm-hmm.
oh, there's too many to mention. I just
Yeah.
love animals. All, even the dangerous ones. You
Yeah.
know, the prey and everything. I love it because I mean, I come from a family we've always had animals in our lives. My uncle
Mhm.
had a cheetah farm. I was like raised with cheetahs, you know.
Yeah.
So and they're supposed to be dangerous,
That's
but
crazy. A cheetah farm.
yeah, and with hyenas and with wild dogs, and so just every animal to me is absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of like these instruments of God.
They are incredible. They're incredible. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I have 2 last questions for you.
shoot.
So, you mentioned this earlier. What's the craziest thing you've eaten?
The craziest thing I've eaten. I would definitely say mpani worms.
Pawnee worms.
Yeah, it's like a delicacy in South Africa.
Okay.
They're like really fat and chubby, but they like cook them so that they're like crunchy.
Okay.
It's almost like I don't know what it's almost like, but I didn't like it at all.
No?
No, it wasn't for
good?
me. No, not at all. And then obviously as well tequila with a snake in. I've had that.
Tequila with a snake.
Yeah, that's from one of my Mexican friends. I had tequila
Yeah.
with a snake in.
And did you eat the snake?
No, I want
No?
to eat it, but like the taste was different.
Was it good or kind of weird?
Weird,
Weird?
but strong. You only have one of those shots and ciao.
All right. You were ready after that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I was like
You were
dead after
swimming.
that.
I was dead. I died. But did you die? Yeah. And last kind of humorous question. So you're from South Africa.
Right.
So what is the nationality that you're most often confused for?
For me, the way I look,
Like people hear you talk and you're like, oh, you're from.
well, by my looks, people have asked me if I'm from Europe, Italy, or something, because
Okay.
I don't look like a normal South African girl either.
Okay.
Because they blonde, blue eyes, you know,
Yeah.
skinny girls,
Uh-huh.
sporty girls. So I look like a Latina, but I'm not a Latina either. So, but when I speak here, a lot of people have asked me if I'm French or Brazilian. I've had that as well.
Really?
Yeah. When I speak Spanish, I'm saying,
Yeah.
yeah, with my accent. So they've asked me those. And you? What
And me?
accent? Well, you look
Well,
gringo, like they would say.
yeah, I guess I look kind of gringo, but I've had a lot of people ask because like the question I asked you was kind of more towards your English accent, but it's true.
My English accent. Then it would be pommy, like English.
Yeah, people think you're
British.
You're British.
But nada que ver.
Yeah, now I get it. There you go.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Spanish, people think that I'm Argentinian or I'm from Uruguay.
Look at that.
I don't know why, but people think I'm from Uruguay or Argentina.
Okay.
When I speak Spanish here in Chile, they're like, Uruguayo? Argentino? And I'm like, no, man, I'm from Miami. Yeah.
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 And like your looks. Yeah.
Oh, my looks, I don't know. I don't know.
And in Miami, do you look like a Miamian?
No, never. So that
what are
was-
you classified as there, you know?
Yeah, well, I've never kind of fit in anywhere I've lived. Like,
Exactly.
neither Miami, neither Spain, neither California, neither Chile. I've never really fit in, but I kind of heard this guy say it today. You know, I wasn't meant to fit in. I was meant to stand out.
There we go.
So-
That's the way it's supposed to be. Exactly. So we're two of a kind, two peas in a
Yes,
pod.
that's right.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, everyone in Miami had short black hair. Everyone was like Cuban, and I had like long white blonde hair and glasses. And I remember just like I would just cry to my mom and I'd beg her to be like, Mom, just please cut my hair and paint it black. Please cut my hair and paint it black.
No.
Yeah,
I also at one stage wanted to be like a blonde and everything. My mom's blonde and blue eyes, you know, and everything. I stood out like a sore thumb as well. But I'm happy the way I am now. You got to
Yeah.
learn to love yourself.
Exactly, same. When I was a kid, I just wanted to fit in so bad, but now, you know, I'm not meant to fit in. I'm meant to be special, just like you.
Exactly. We're all special in
We're all
reality.
special. We're all special.
Everybody's unique in their own way.
Yeah. So I think this is a good way to wrap it up, Cassie.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invites.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody listening or
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah. So thank you for coming. I'm really grateful that you're here and that you said yes. And thank you for sharing, you know, your stories and a little bit about your life with all of us.
Thank you for teaching me a lot of things that I didn't know.
Right on. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely give you some books after this.
Yay!
All right, guys. Thank you so much. This is Itan. This is Cassie, and thank you so much for listening. So that's it. We're out.
Bye.
Good job.
It was fun.
Good.